Once again, audience, this is Jay Choi presenting Golden Veins Weekly Stock Market Condition. And today we're going to take a look at the stock market condition of October week 1. And here we go. KOSDAQ. Despite of the failure of the United States budget bill, foreign investors still showed purchasing trend for 27 straight business days. So the market is closed with the firm upward tendency. It is up by 0.02 compared to the 30th and it ended 1996.98. Individuals and financial institutions sold 276 billion and 587 billion, and foreign investors purchased 948 billion. For program trade, 50 billion of arbitrage has been purchased and 87 billion non-arbitrage is purchased, so showing total of 37 billion selling security. Current closing condition of each industry. Due to the unfavorable factors in the United States, most sectors are closed weaker. Paper wooden products, electronics, distribution industry, communication, financing, bankings, insurance, and manufacturing industry are strong. Food and beverages, fabric and clothing, chemistry, medication, non-metal minerals, steel metal, machinery, medical details, transportation equipment, electric gas, construction, transportation warehouse, securities, and service industry are weaker. High rankings are closed in a confused state of trend. Half of them are increased, the other half were fixed. Samsung Electronics, SK Hynix, Samsung Life Insurance, Shinhan Holding Company, SK Telecom, KB Financing are closed strong. On the other hand, Hyundai Motors, Hyundai Mobis, POSCO, Kia Motors, LG Chemistry, Hyundai Heavy Industry, Korea Electricity, and Naver are closed weak. US dollar over Korean won is down by 4.401 compared to the 30th, and it ended 1070.301. And next, KOSDAQ. Due to the purchasing trend of foreign investors and program trade, it is closed with a small downward tendency. It is fixed by 2.88 compared to the 30th, and it ended 532.01. Individuals and financial institutions sold 41 billion and 27 billion, and foreign investors purchased 66 billion. For program trade, it's mainly non-arbitrary transaction trade, having a 17 billion purchasing security. Current closing condition of each industry. Other services, transportation, communication broadcasting service, print media copy, machinery equipment, broadcasting service, computer service, semiconductor, and leisure industry are strong. On the other hand, KOSDAQ IT general, manufacturing, construction, distribution, financing, IT software, IT hardware, food, beverages and tobacco, fabric and clothing, paper wooden products, chemistry, medicine manufacture, non-metal and metal, general electronics, medical detail equipment, transportation equipment parts, other manufacture, internet, digital content, software, communication equipment, information equipment, and IT parts are weaker. There are many strong high rankings. For instance, CJENM with 6.23%, Seoul Semiconductor with 5.43%, Paradise with 4.90%. Total of 8 companies are bullish. But Celltrion with negative 5.99% and Patreon negative 3.97%, 5 companies still are closed weaker. And now for the United States. Despite 2014 budget bill has been passed on September 30th, the market is still bullish. September 30th, Monday. Due to the concern about federal government shutting down, the market had a modification. The political negotiation of 2014 budget and the increasing debt limit still has some difficulties. 8 hours right before the closure of 2014 fiscal year, the conflict between Democrats and Republicans is actually intensified. The upper house declined the 2014 budget bill passed by the lower house and passed a new bill with Obamacare budget onto the lower house. If 2014 budget bill is not processed, 800,000 non-major service workers out of 2 million will be fired. Regarding the current status, the upper house voted for a fixed budget bill that can be carried out by November 15th, and the result was 54 agreed and 46 opposed. The lower house will have to decide whether to adapt or reject this new bill from the upper house, and if it's rejected, they will face a shutdown since 1996. The agreement of the upper and lower house is to be made by the midnight of September 30th, and it is possible to shut down the federal government only when the signature of the president is done. Experts actually predict the upper and lower house would process the provisional bill either at the midnight of the 30th or in the morning of the next day, to avoid the damages and the criticism of the public. The concern about default is intensified in case of the failure of the increasing the debt limit. October 4th, Friday. Despite of the concern about extended shutdown, the market is closed bullish. After 3 business days, the market is successfully rebounded. As there are signs of extended shutdown, the market sees this moment as an opportunity of purchasing and selling inflow. During the interview with CNBC, the international credit rating agency S&P actually announced there is no demotion of credit rating. The chief director of S&P, Marie Kavanagh, predicted the GDP growth would be decreased by 0.3% if the shutdown lasts for a week. However, she also emphasized the negotiation regarding the debt limit will be finished in time at least. Richard Fisher, the chairman of Dallas Federal Reserve Bank, still worries about the damages of extended shutdown. The hawks, who support the decrease in quantitative easing, insisted to resolve the shutdown early, then move on to the quantitative easing as soon as possible. But, these incidents, shutdown of federal government and, increasing the debt limit, are still inadequate to control the whole market. John Boehner, the chairman of the lower house, repeatedly demands a negotiation with the Democratic Party. Because of the shutdown, September employment status is postponed to be announced indefinitely. Dow index is fixed by 57.09 points compared to the 30th, and it ended 15,072.58. S&P 500 index is increased by 8.95 and it ended 1690.50. Nasdaq General Index is also increased by 36.27 and it ended 3807.75. And next, Europe stock market. Despite of unfavorable factors in the United States and Italy, the market is still bullish. September 30th, Monday. The uncertainty of the United States and Italy is what matters the most. Because of the concern about Italy political issues and United States federal government shutdown, European investors show such a cold manners. If the bill is not passed by the midnight, the United States federal government would confront a shutdown. A provisional bill in which putting off the Obamacare for 1 more year for the reformation of health insurance is passed by lower house, but it is not promising whether it will be passed by the upper house as well. The negotiation about increasing the debt limit still has difficulties, and if it's not passed by October 17th, the default is on. Only 5 months after its establishment, Italy's coalition government is collapsed, and there are some concerns about this crisis would spread throughout the Eurozone. Under the former Prime Minister Berlusconi's direction, 5 cabinets resigned, and Enrico Letta administration's coalition government is practically collapsed. Enrico Letta, the Prime Minister of Italy, would plan for organizing a new coalition government after she gets votes from the current ministry. October 4th, Friday. The shutdown problem in the United States and Italy's unstable political status is somewhat resolved. Current repulsing purchasing inflow according to a decreasing index, and Italy coalition government overcoming its crisis behaved as favorable factors. As the expectations of successful negotiation in the United States grows, the market is actually bullish. It's been predicted that European Central Bank would maintain its financial support on the Eurozone. The upper house of Italy passed the deprivation of Berlusconi. Berlusconi was sentenced to 3 years in prison for tax evasion. Against this deprivation, 5 cabinets from Liberal National Party resigned from the coalition government. Those 5 cabinets showed their intentions of supporting Enrico Letta. Eventually, due to the public aggravation and resistance in the party, it's been concluded that Berlusconi actually failed. Stock 600, one of the representative index of Europe, is fixed 0.57 compared to the 30th, and it ended 309.89. For United Kingdom, but the 100 index is decreased by 8.34 compared to the 30th and ended 63.88. Germany DAX 300 index is increased by 28.57 points and it ended 8594.40. For France, CAC 40 index is increased by 20.81 and it ended 4164.25. And lastly, US dollar over euro is up by $0.0066 and it closed at $1.3593. Alright, that's it, folks. Thank you for listening. And actually, this is gonna be my last presentation for a while. And last several months been such a pleasure me making this presentation for you guys. Thank you for listening. This has been Jay Choi, and you guys stay good. Thank you, and bye bye.